hope you're having an amazing afternoon. Sorry we are starting a little bit later today. I was out with the girls. We were out hiking today, so enjoying the beautiful outdoors. Even though it is a little chilly, we were still enjoying the outdoors and getting some fresh air while it is a little cold up here. Still a beautiful, beautiful day. Roughly 50 degrees out there. I am just going to share the link on Twitter everywhere, so bear with me, guys. All right. And Tesla, we're going to talk about Tesla today. So, oops, let me just also paste the link. That would really be helpful for people, I'm sure. And I will jump right back to you guys, and we will go ahead and get started. So tweet here and share on Facebook as well. And then I'll see you guys live where I can see your chat. I hope you guys have had a good weekend, making lots of memories. There's nothing better than those memories. Hey Asif, oh hey Miguel, hey IQ Micro, hi Elena. What's missing from the two things, Asif? Please tell me what's missing. All right, hey Vav. Vaibhav? Did I say that correctly? I am not a master of other people's names, so I'm sorry if... nice, coming in from Toronto. Very cool. All right, let me just get rid of the hiking background here. We'll get into just the stocks, hat and a horse. Yeah, I did that up in Wyoming at one point in time. All right. Let's look at the SPY. We're going to start off with the SPY, and I don't have my Sunday list updated right here. I will pull it up on the right, and then we'll add it on for today, and then we'll go over the ones that you also have as well. So here is my list. Tesla, Amazon, Guild, ALK, Samuel Adams, Rio, SLB, AXP, Intel, and RHI. We'll look at it, Vaibhav. We'll check it out for sure. We'll also see if maybe we have some other indications. I will show you one in which I think that we're actually going to be going higher. I have been playing around with a little bit of with Gann and his 45-degree angle for the charts. So you see here on the daily, I did draw the 45-degree angle. Let me move it up to the low of this candlestick. This was really the first reversal candlestick. I have it locked. There we go. This was the first reversal candlestick. Now I will lock it right there. That we had from this downward turn. And so once it broke that 45-degree angle, hey, next move to the upside. And I'm learning about the Gann square. Now everything is manipulated with algos, so I don't know that it necessarily holds true, but the 45-degree thing is pretty cool, and how once that 45-degree trend is broken, that it will end up in the other direction with a reversal. Yeah, in fact, we actually will see, I will pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up on the other screen so we can look at the seasonality for what tends to happen for the S&P 500 with the elections, which is pretty cool. All right, so I have, Tesla and then Amazon. Let's put it on here, Guild. Oh, I'm using caps. ALK, Samuel Adams, Rio, SLB, AXP, Intel, RHI, and HSBC. And Kyle's shouting out MTLS and SONO. All right. So looking at the SPY, all right? Let's pull up our daily chart over here on the 45-minute chart, you know, it bounced off of my 425 EMA, one that I love. Over here, we have the upside down head and shoulders. We came down pretty much to that shoulder level and it held as support. So in my opinion, we are going to be heading higher. Let's see again if I can. Which screen is this going to open up on? All right, let's see if we can find that election seasonality pretty quickly. SPY, election seasonality. I have so many screenshots, guys. It's just, here we go. And I will pull it over. Oh, that's not it. That was, here it is. This is the one we want to look at. All right, so you were looking, ASIF, you were looking at the highs. So this is typically what happens with the seasonality for the election year, right? And this is 59 years worth of history down here. So the pink line is on average the regular trading year, and it tends to drop in October and then surge higher in November. Very similar, however, for October, it tends to have a bigger drop. So it seems like we're acting more like this year right here, where we pulled back into this third week, fourth week. What do we tend to do? We tend to surge higher, and we almost here, it's almost hitting a high. Well, we tend to hit that high end of December. So looking at that, with the election, typically it tends to go higher, maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then it surges higher. So the fact that you looked back in history, ASIF, and you see, yes, it was hitting new highs, not unlikely. We tend to do that. And we tend to pull back in December a little bit right here and then surge higher. And you can see, all right, then February tends to be that high and we pull back into second week of March and it's pretty much up from there, right? So just knowing, hey, if you were to start putting money in the second week of March, maybe that's when you would start to see those big returns. When do we see that biggest downturn? Second week of March, right? And then we've just shot up since then. So looking at the SPY, would really like to see it break above 346.20 over here to continue higher. We've pulled back, we broke above, we're riding this 45-degree up. Now this could go up and then pull back to it, up and pull back to it, but that 45-degree trend, it's pretty cool. We might see that we really ride that up. On the Qs, we are pulling back down. Now you see we're right here on the edge. On the 45-minute chart, we have broken above that downward trend line. So we just need more volume coming up on Monday. I don't know what the news could possibly be. Maybe Pelosi will say, you know what? We have agreed. We have the stimulus bill. Boom, up we go. Now, Vaibhav, you are saying, I think that the market will crash, or will the market crash before the election? Let's look over here. Now, if you do not know, I do follow the dark pool, which the dark pool is where the really big guys in the market place their trades, right? For anyone that's absolutely brand new. And if there's anyone that's brand new out there and you like the videos, hit the like button and subscribe so you get to know when I go live. Well, right here, when we look at the VXX, it tends to go the opposite direction of the SPY. Not a good instrument for trading. However, a great instrument for watching for risk. I feel like I'm a little small down here. Let's make it a little bigger. And I'll slide myself over. There we go. So, VXX tends to go down. All right. All right, Austin. Welcome. So, the VXX tends to go down. This is based off of the VIX. The VIX tends to be based off of put activity or protection activity on the S&P 500. So, when we look back on even a weekly chart for VXX, you don't want to trade this. Look at what happens, right? This is not a chart that's good for trading. Oh my goodness, it looks like it was at $597 and now we're down at $22. Do you want to be in something like this? No. The only time that this goes up is when there is a correction that's happening in the market. And it does not usually have this sort of correction where it goes from 13 to 78. That's a rarity, right? It's more that it's going to go down. all the time. That's more like 90% of the time that is what's happening. So we use this as a measure for the fear in the market. You can see on the weekly chart, it was coming down, hit 21, bounced, and then came all the way back down. Now, this was also when we were hitting new highs in the market. Then all of a sudden, we saw that COVID came out, and here's the big telltale sign that something was potentially happening. You see all this volume? Well, as soon as we went above this volume level, right here, more volume came in, fear came into the market and drove it higher. The stock market also dropped at that time. The stock market is bullish over time, VXX is bearish over time. They only do the opposite when fear comes into play. So, big dark pool print that happened roughly $23 on the 21st of October. We are below this, right? If we were to go above, you start to see, hey, we close above 23.50, right? Then we might see the market correct again going into the elections or going into the end of the year. But right now we're below it. Everything else is looking like we're going to be shooting higher. The SPY looks like it's at a point where it's coming back up. The Qs looks like it's at a point where it's coming back up. Let's check out Apple as well. So Apple and Microsoft tend to be the top two holdings in the Qs and the SPY. Very similar chart on our daily chart to the SPY and the Qs. Why? Because it's one of the top two holdings. Well, over here on our weekly chart, let's also draw a little trend line here. We're actually following the weekly trend line up. We're still in an upward trend. It bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here. It didn't even bounce off of it here. But this would be a potential point where someone might say, hey, look, we're closer to this trend line. And we also have earnings coming up for major holdings this week. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon as well. Very big week in the tech and the Qs for earnings. So we've got to keep that in mind. And we see that we are holding that upward trend line. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this over here and right here. So we would like to see that this is going to break this upward trend line. We've got a bit of a wedge going on. Let's measure our wedge from here to here. All right, that's 26 points, right? So should we break out over here? We'll just say maybe we break out earnings day. $18, we go up 26 points. I'm going to give Apple a rough target of 145 up there. That's going to be my rough target for Apple in the next couple of weeks, actually. We might see that that happens right away with earnings. Look at how we had a massive gap up here. It went from the close of 96 to a high this day of 106. So that's 10 points. Ah, nice, that's it. All right, and Microsoft. Let's check out Microsoft as well. So Microsoft, we have our weekly chart. Let's flatten this out a little bit more. Right here, this. Put it right over here. All right, so there's our new line. Okay, if we come over here, we're still going to be in an upward trend. On the daily chart, which is where this channel is drawn, we're still riding this channel up, and we've broken we've broken resistance. I would really like to see that it breaks above 217 over here, and then it will continue up. So Apple, Microsoft coming into earnings. Hey, maybe we're going to find out lots of people are buying Microsoft products with the COVID going on, everything happening, everyone's working from home. A lot of, a lot of cloud information that's happening and changing hands, just cleaning up the charts while we're working over here. And this is riding that upward channel. So right now it's still looking bullish to me, and the market overall is bullish. Another thought, I need to do some more research on this, and I will. With the stimulus. I need to look back in history and see what's happened at the time of stimulus. Did stock prices go up as well because the dollar went down and it inflated the cost of everything and drove it up? That's sort of something that's in my mind right now, a question that I have going on. So I might do more research on that for you guys. Also, don't forget, last week to enter to win the Start Trading Quick Start Guide contest that I will announce next Sunday. The link is right at the top of the comment section, so check that out if you want to win that book. It's a really cool book. I'll be doing a review of it this week, probably launching that Tuesday or Thursday. All right, so Tesla. Let's get into it on a 45-minute chart over here, and we have the daily. So on our 45-minute chart, we are below the 425. That's my bear bull hat. However, they brought it down almost to the 400 mark, right? And then it bounced back up. It has quite a resistance right here. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Let me undo what I just did in moving that channel line. I want to move this one. So right now it looks right around 420. Let's see, let me get my list. Did I close it? No. All right, so with Tesla, I'm going to bring this down over here. If we break down below that 412.50 or above 422, then 422 potentially going to come up here and squeeze up above. We'll probably see some resistance hitting that 427 area until we clear 432, then around up to 438, 440 area, and then potentially up here. Has had a lot of volume. There was more volume that came in after the great earnings report. However, the market is irrational, right? It was a great earnings report. What happened to it? It pulled back. Does that mean that it's necessarily going to be tanking? Not necessarily. Could mean that the really big guys didn't get enough of a position on and they're looking to surge it higher and suck some shorts in to sell to them so they can just, squeeze them and take it higher. So I am bullish. We also bounced. We had a big buying signal here with the fact that they took it all the way down, brought it all the way back up, and closed above the 50 simple moving average. There's lots of buyers that got in at the 50 simple moving average on the daily, and we're at the bottom of this upward channel. So if we look at that, hey, where is our next? Maybe we head up here. All right, 575, 580 for Tesla in the next couple weeks. That wouldn't be so weird to me to see that. All right, so with Tesla, what was my numbers there? 412.50 and 422, I believe. Yeah, 412.50. You know what? I don't know. That's it. I don't really follow the news at all. I'm following more the dark pool prints, and I'm following, trends and technical analysis. I don't even watch the news. I will see what is happening, but I don't use that in my assessment at all because the really big guys in the market are going to do what they're going to do, right? So I try to just ignore all of that. Now, Amazon. I was doing some dark pool sleuthing and some investigating on Amazon, and we have had roughly 4 days of prints here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is really looking primed to move to the upside. And something else that's it that you have to think about is Tesla is not just a car company, right? Tesla is also an electric company for green electricity, solar panels with Solar City, the home batteries and the home battery packs, the million-mile battery that they also sell to other people. So keeping all of that in mind, it's not just a car company. You have to remember. All right. So with Amazon, hey, Julio, welcome. You've caught me live before. I did it a little later today because I was out hiking. All right, so I'm going to give Amazon a bit more of a range here. This is $114. So through 3150, let's go right ahead and put it down at 3150, round number, and then 3250. If we break down, we're likely going to go down pretty hard, and the entire market will go down because of the prints. Saw some prints alone on the 23rd of October that were worth 115 million. So we had a total of 225,000 and 225,000 times. Hey Google, what's 225,000 times $3,175?
The answer is 714.37500 million Canadian dollars.
Okay, I don't know why I did it in Canadian, but we're probably looking at roughly $500 million position on Amazon, and I'm ready to follow that, not go against it. So that's why I will let it say, hey, 32.60 and 31.50. All right. So keep this one on watch for earnings. Hello, Corey. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining me. I love when you say hello and come on in. All right. So we did, you guys can see it here. We have these dark pool prints. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to listen to me, Julio. Or else you could find a broker that allows you to trade partial share size. Then you can trade it. It doesn't matter. So with Guild, we had prints over here. You can see these prints. I didn't check any prints from Friday. Let me see if I have it up over here. If we had any prints on Friday on Guild that are sizable to pay attention to. So we no, that's closing price. 100,000 at 60.43. So let's put this over here. 60.43. Did we even trade there? Oh, that was the 20th. Let's try the 23rd. Yeah, I will add CHGG. Sig. You going to the jewelers? You gonna buy me some jewelry at Signet? Signet and Tiffany's tend to trade symbiotically. All right, so Guild on, wow, we got a bunch actually, but they're smaller. Nothing really, really big on Guild. More smaller prints, but there are all dark pool prints. And really, let's see, 6107 is where we saw the bottom. So over here, 6107, and we closed below it. Is KSS Kohl's? I feel like KSS is Kohl's. So keeping Guild on watch for sure this week for seeing if it's going to break below 60.20 right here, or are we going to come back up and close above over here, close above this range. So it was really trading in this range. Then they had the news that they were approved for FDA, squeezed some shorts. Oh my goodness, the shorts got out, and then more people sold into the news, brought it back down. Maybe we're going to see more prints coming in on Monday and taking it higher. There's a possibility that that could happen. Right, Julio? And for everyone that's new, put the 425 EMA on your chart. You will love it. All right, so what did I say over here? 60.20 and 60.92. Somebody told me to put it on, and so now, no, I haven't. That's it. I haven't looked at Snap yet lately. So let's look at ALK for potential longs. And if you guys miss all my levels, I do post it on my Instagram as well as a link to the video if you guys want to share it with anybody. You know, I really try to help other people as well, so keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to put it down here, 40.80 for our low, and here, let's pull this back. You can see Alaska came down. We're slowly in this wedge, a bit of a wedge over here. Let's do it up this one, down here. Nope. Come on. Down here and over here, which we broke above just the past 2 days, right? So now Alaska has that potential to run up here to 49.50 from 41. So a nice 20% potential move on Alaska if they can continue to the upside here. All right, so low, let's pull this one down over here. I'd like to see it break above the 40.40. That's not 40.40. What is that one right there? $42. Put it right there. So support of 40.80 and $42 for it to break out. And then potential move up, like I said, up to 49.50 roughly, right up there. All right, and Samuel Adams. Yes, Snap definitely does have a gap. Also, NEO does too. NEO is another one to watch. There's a lot of great stocks in motion. So Samuel Adams earnings came up, surged higher. I'm going to move these over on the right, and then we'll look at it on the shorter time frame over here. All right, so we would like to see this break above 1092.50, which had tested it, right? But it didn't break above. Settings, 1092.50, went 30 cents above. And here's our support right over here, 10.45. All right, now they had earnings. I believe Samuel Adams is a little bit lower float. If it does fill the gap, it might come back down and test that $1,000 mark and then continue to surge higher. All right, then we have Rio Tinto for potential short. They've been, you sort of see, we have this big area here. It's sort of like a really wide shoulder head and then another shoulder, and it started to curl down. Let's pull these down over here. It's really weird, it's not moving over here. All right, 59.50 on the 45-minute chart and $60 to the upside. If it's going to continue to go up, it would easily go up over there. Let's turn these on over here. All right, 59.50 for our support and 60 up above. SLB in the oil and gas sector. I think I do have some lines all the way up here. Let's bring these down. It definitely got beaten down. Was up at 40, now it's down at 15. And we have a bit of an H on our daily chart. Now, this is what we want to pay attention to. Right here, right? This pulled back, high volume on earnings, and look at that support that it created right there. So we would really want to see that hold as well, but we just set a higher low. So are we going to, what I traded, Julio? I was in NEO. Also, I'm trying to think of what else I was in this week. Let me draw this line over here. 1560. Now, let's get rid of this one. Delete. Let's go over here. I had a good one on Friday. All right, silver, as well as Tesla, as well as Guild, NEO, in those over the week. All right. No, not shorting NEO right now, that's it. I was in and out for day trade. All right, so for support, would like to see 1520 hold and then 1565 for resistance for SLB. All right, AXP as well, also was looking at Fastly. All right, So over here, I would like to see the resistance broken if it's going to go to the upside to 101.80 and to the downside, break of 100. Which look at right where it stopped on Friday. It found, it's interesting. It says that here it came down to 99.68. That was pre-market. But it came right to $100. And right there to the moving average on the daily chart. Look at how it's rejected pretty much that 425 EMA. All right, Intel had a big gap down. And we've got high volume. Is it going to close that gap to the upside or will it break down further? So pre-market, it set a support and a resistance level 48.50. Want to see if it will go ahead and close above that or break down below 47.80 further to the downside. When we look at it on that big picture over here for Intel, oops, I went on the 45-minute chart. I wanted to go on the daily chart. I used to be a really big bear and now I'm more of a bull. Because I'm seeing how stubborn the bears are and how they're just getting squeezed beyond belief because they think that COVID is really going to tank the market. And I follow the dark pool prints. All right, so we have this support and resistance area that's been held in the past. It was a support area back here, and this was a support area and a resistance. So are we going to break that resistance or break down more? Yeah, those shorts getting stubborn can really drive some price action, right, Asa? Especially on the low floats. All right, so 48.50 and 47.80. I totally did that backwards. 47.80 and 48.50. And then RHI. Big down day. We're hitting the 200 simple moving average, and here's what caught my eye. The massive volume candlestick right there on the 200 SMA. So is it going to break down below here, or are we going to surge higher from here? Let's draw it on the 45-minute chart. So a support level of 51.60, bring it down 1 penny. And then a resistance level right over here, 52.25. So just that right here. Right there. Right? And look at how in the past you can see, hey, it bounced in between it before. And so really looking for those levels to either hold or break. All right, 51.60 and 52.25. And I have for potential swing HSBC. Now the banks have kind of been pretty crazy, but HSBC has broken a downward trend on the daily. You guys can see this. However, when it does that, all right, Kyle, little test for you, Kyle. Are you here? What is this? What is this called, Kyle? Anybody? Can you tell me what this candlestick is called? Anyone know? What's this one called? What's this one called? What are these called? Anybody? Abandoned baby, right? So will they, oh, come on, it's right here. Abandoned baby over here. It's gapped far away. This could be the island reversal right here, Julio. But when it's just a single, it's more of an abandoned baby, right? But you can see that it happens quite often, and maybe this is going to shoot up and they're going to bring it right back down below, and then we have that abandoned baby right there. So it's really important to see where the candle goes for the next day for HSBC, right? Are we going to pull back? Exactly, Julio. Well, the island is going to be more like this. This would be an island, right? Here. Oops, that was not a very good straight line, but you get the point. So this is the island. The baby is one, right? That's the baby. And then the island is going to be a bunch of them all together. Think of like the Bahamas, multiple islands, whereas just one, it's just a little baby hanging out there by itself. It's that stray cat that got abandoned. All right, it doesn't want me to leave. Kyle. All right, so is HSBC going to surge higher and potentially break out above up here? So that's why this one's really on watch. Super high volume and abandoned candlestick right now. Will it be an island or will it be an abandoned baby and reverse right back down? We don't know, so keep it on watch. Has a potential swing. All right, let's look at MTLS. So MTLS on the daily, right away, my eye is drawn to this, right? Is this going to be a distribution or is this consolidation to take it higher? We have a strong support of roughly 47.50, and every time it's come there, it's bounced. The moving averages are still crawling up. We have higher than normal volume on close with MTLS. Let's see if we have any prints that might give us some indication. Nothing crazy. So right now, a little bit of also downward price action. We seem to, on the daily chart, it doesn't look like we've closed above it. However, on the 45-minute chart, no, we're still closed below it. So it looks like it's still in that downward trend. We do have earnings coming up. Remember, not always good to hold over earnings because that's more of a gamble. However, you could trade it up to the close before earnings and then after. Just be aware of when they are reporting. And Sonos. Looks like Sonos has the speaker system. We have a nice resistance right here, right, in the past. And we need to, is this going to be a double top? After hours, it looks like it has surged higher. And on the daily over here, we had, it looks almost like there was a gap to fill, and then they filled it, they pulled it back down, and these levels of support and resistance have really acted in the past. So 15 for support and then 16.12, which it did break out afterwards. Now during pre-market, they might bring it right back down and they might drop it back down, test the 1580 area, which would also be a potential area of support. You can see it right here, 1580. But it did break out from $15, surged higher, pretty much that 1580 mark, came up and tested 16, would really need to break above 16 with volume. Post-market activity, it's not necessarily confirmation because look at the volume. It is so low, it can be manipulated with low volume. We would really need to see it intraday with higher volume. All right, CHGG. Chegg, we have earnings coming up. Is that on Monday? The 26th, yeah. So we have earnings tomorrow, so keep it on watch. Looks on the daily chart like we're going like this. Right? So it would really need to break above 89 for strength to the upside, and then watch the $90 test. It has had some selling pressure and then some buying pressure right off of the $85. So I would look for 89 to the upside for Chegg, and I would look for 85 for support. I don't know why it won't allow me to delete the drawings. It's quite frustrating. There we go. Signet Jewelers, right? Someone's going shopping for me. Ooh, wrong button. Signet Jewelers broke the 26 mark. Looks like it needs to break 27. 26.97. You see how it also just went 3 cents shy. This is why when you're looking to get out, don't always be greedy for those last couple of cents, right? It can really hurt you if you're like, I want it to be that round number. The market doesn't care. Just get out. Right? 24.60 for support for Signet. And when are their earnings? They had earnings, they report later in the season. They reported September 3rd, or they report late or early, depending on how you look at it. It is super extended. However, Julio, let the chart tell you when to get in. All right, don't be stubborn short. I believe it is lower float. Oh no, they have 1.29 billion in their float. And let's see. See, hiking boots, went hiking. 65% short volume. They have 683,000 shares. Let's see. Have the shorts been stubborn? Yeah, the last 50 days, they was at 62% short float. Excuse me, short volume. For the past 50 trading days, people have been shorting this. Corey, do you mean ZM, the company? I don't think Zoom is a ticker anymore. I think they changed that. Yeah, so why not ride it up, Julio, while all those shorts are getting squeezed, right? Yes, exactly. All right, so Kohl's. Do you guys see the range that it's trading right now? We have this. That's why I like the black and white, because I can quite quickly see. Whoops. Are you talking about JMA or JMIA? 2450. Let's do this. Right here and over. Right? Hey, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. And we're coming back up to test the top up here. Yeah, no worries, Corey. Are you talking about SIG, Julia? That's it? No, I would wait for the chart to show the rollover. So let's go back to SIG, right? Don't let it. This chart does not look bearish, does it? It does not look bearish at all. Here, let's go back over here. So this time it keeps coming back to those averages and it bounces. Came all the way down to the 21. That's why I'd rather wait for that confirmation. This one here, yes, it's overextended. Look at how far it came down. You could use that target of the 21 for it being super overextended. However, it's just squeezing them all the way up, right? Even on the 45-minute chart, it's been riding that 21 EMA and 20 SMA pretty much all the way up. The 50 SMA, there's no confirmation, right, that it's pulling back. Okay, 2038. How far away is that? 2038. That's really my like make it or break it. So that's right over here. So if it were to come down to 2038, that's when I would be bearish overall on it. And we're 6. So you could short it. However, you see that it's still just moving higher. Yeah, this is definitely a parabolic move. Remember JKS too? JKS had that parabolic move. Now it's come back down, but look at how it didn't even hit the 21 EMA and it bounced off of the 15 EMA here. There was this upward trend line. Let's shorten it a little bit and bring it over. So you see there's this upward trend line drawn from the bottoms here, and it came down, bounced up off of it, and now we're below it again. This is my 425 EMA on the 45-minute chart. It almost hit it, and then it bounced. But just because it's going up and it's overextended does not mean, look, yeah, you could have thought this was the top here. You could have thought this was the top. You could have thought this was the top back here, back on the 23rd. So try not to be a stubborn short. Buy it more on the dip when it starts to curl back up because the market is more bullish. right? So remember that. In my opinion, be cautious. So we're testing the high here for KSS. I would need it to really break out above 2450 with volume. The candlestick here was up at the top, right? The high of this one is 2386. We just went above that. And this one over here, this was at the bottom with a low of 1938. So maybe they bought down here and maybe they sold over here and brought it back down. Haven't seen any really crazy volume since these two, but 2386 were above all of the volume. Would need it to really break out over here. And look at how it spiked up in the past. Right here, it came shooting up, hit the 2934 and pulled right back. So we've had a lot of sideways consolidation. When we had a bit of sideways consolidation over here, had earnings, boom, went from 1757 up to 2934. $12 or roughly 60% gains right there. Might happen again. Let's pull these down here, make it easier to see. Right there. All right, let's look at Snap. And then we'll do Zoom as well. So Snap was parabolic. I think I have some Snap shares. I don't remember. I got in. I think maybe I day traded it this week. I remember it on my list. So would look for, oh, that's, we want to go up higher. I would look for, it needs to break out above 44.50 and support, would like to see the 42 round dollar hold, right? So you can see as well, if something is riding this 21 EMA on the 45-minute chart, that's still pretty bullish. Wait for SIG to break that down, right? That's all the way down here at 25.72. So wait for that to break it down before you would even do anything. Why would I say above 44.50? Well, we're at 44.20 after hours. You see that? This white line, this is the after hours. So I'd like to see it break 44.50. Does that make sense for that's it? All right, guys, do you have any other ones that you'd like to check? Let's look on Zoom. All right, so Zoom is starting to have the volume drop down at the same time. Yeah, Arky, I'm sorry about that. I hope you didn't get squeezed too far. All right, so just looking at the candlesticks over here, and then we can tighten it up. We have the 425 right here at 501.96, so I'd put 502 for potential short. Yeah, Julia, you know what? I did a video all about that. Short volume is what is reported to FINRA the day before. So, or the, you know, the day, that same day, whereas short interest is reported 2 weeks late. So it's really old news now. So I don't use short interest, but short volume is what I use. All right, let's look at potentially that's it. I would watch for confirmation with a large volume spike behind it as well for 44.50. I wouldn't just say, hey, 44.51, I'm going long, because they might take it there. They might have shorts that have their stops there, and they take it there just to take them out, and then they drop it down further. They sell, in other words, to those stops. All right, let's look at Snap. No, we already looked at Snap. Taco. Taco, is that Del Taco? Yes, it is. All right, so Del Taco, look at this level, how I had this level in the past and showing up again. All right, my 425 right here at 835, and interesting, 833 on the 45-minute chart and 835 on the daily chart. That's kind of cool. So over here, this doesn't have a lot of volume traded. 1.4 million. It looks like it really doesn't have that much volume. Massive volume this day, and we are below all that volume, right? For this day. So it had earnings, it pulled back, found support down here, and this is our first up day. Would really like to see it break even up above further. I would like to see it break this 850 mark to the upside for further continuation. Then it would likely have a test up here around 920. Breaking down, if it breaks down below $8 right here, then look for a test at 770 on down to 750 and back down over here. All right, AR. So AR, Agilent Technologies. Look at how when it broke that trend, it surged higher, right? And up here too. Look, it's pretty much like a 45-degree trend line. Let's see. You guys want to see this? Let's see. Is that a 45-degree trend line? No, I want it up at the top. I'll mess with it later. So we're up here at 107.50. Would like to see it break up above there. 107.62 is the high. 107.50 with volume. Plenty of time for earnings. And we have the trend line on our daily right here. So it keeps bouncing off of it. So this is looking nice and bullish pretty much for AR, but would like that confirmation breaking above 107.50 up here. Right there. So an ascending triangle there. UAA, Under Armour. I love Under Armour clothes. Right. So I had a thought. I don't know if you guys would be into it, but I feel like it's always fun to get presents. And I was thinking, who would like to do a Secret Santa for the trading community? And then people log in and they create a Secret Santa, and you create a wish list, maybe like $30 US, and then you get a fun little gift. What do you guys think? I thought that'd be fun to share in this time, and then everybody gets a little Secret Santa and a present. So UAA, it's got a slow little curve here, really shallow, and then now it's starting to upward trend. Needs to break that 1523 as well for me, more longer term to the upside, and we have earnings. And let's check out Garmin for Terry. So Garmin looks like it's breaking out above a resistance over here on the left. I'd like to see it break 101.50 and support right even lower right here, because we have this. It's a really like an upside down head and shoulders kind of. Shoulder, head, shoulder, potential move on the bigger time frame. Nothing really crazy on that front for dark pool. Oh, let's check out Workhorse too, right? You guys wanted to see Workhorse? No big prints on Workhorse. All right, and last one, we will do AM as, whoops, Antero Midstream as the final one for today. All right, so AM on our daily chart has a strong resistance right around $8 over here. Yeah, it's fun to track them. And you can see how over here we are hitting the resistance right at 662, and then the next test would be likely up at $8 right at that 425. This one is not looking bullish when we look at the daily chart, right? This is rolling down the hill does have support here roughly around 426, the base at 169, 426 over here, and when we zoom in on the daily, let's draw a little trend line up here. Here's the highest, here and here. We're testing that downward trend line. So if it can have volume, maybe with earnings, we'll see it shoot up to the 790 mark and break above, but it might not break that $8. It would need to really break above $8. This is oil and gas, and the whole oil and gas sector has really been beaten down overall. And you can see over here, it really had a strong resistance right here at that 790, 789 area, which is right at the 425 EMA. So Antero is looking more bearish to me than bullish, in my opinion. All right, guys, have an amazing afternoon. I will see you all tomorrow at 12:15, and don't forget on Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern if you guys want to come and do yoga. Help to get you centered before your trading day, and just part of sharing more of what I do and helping you guys stay healthy and centered in your mind for your trading days. All right, carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. See you tomorrow.